so they do a lot of the same things we do, a lot of the similar schemes, protection. So very familiar with this team and their personnel.
Well, I know we talk all the time about when there's injuries, how it trickles down to you guys. But I'm just kind of curious on, like, say you have a team, how many guys do you think were out there that maybe weren't normal guys? You know, like Duran's out there, right? He's, I think, a protector who hasn't done it all year. So, like, how many new guys did you get out this week?
On the punt, we ripped a handful of new guys, and when you're doing that, you're training those players leading up to it. So it goes back to off-season program, right? You're trying to get guys as many reps as possible in different spots for these moments. So you're trying to train guys throughout the process of, training camp and into the season, and even on like the red teams and look teams that we have, you want to get guys as many reps as possible. That those opportunities arise, and they have to now step into the game that they feel confident in their abilities to protect and play in those spots. So, guys like Harrison Bryant has played in a number of different positions for us on that unit. So those guys, credit for those guys for being able to be inserted, at any time possible. Duran has done some things in the past. He actually was a backup PP for me in New England, and he did it in Atlanta. So it was an easy choice for him to play in that spot next week or this past week. So.
But how much pride do you take when you have like a core special teamer like D'Anthony and you see him get an opportunity to play on defense and play as well as he did? How much pride do you take in seeing a guy like that get that chance and thrive?
I take a lot of pride in that, developing young players and seeing them ascend and having greater roles on offense and defense. I mean, really, if you look at the core group that I coached in Indianapolis, all those guys have elevated their play and have found ways to make significant contributions offensively and defensively. And then D'Anthony has the opportunity with our safety situation to have more opportunities defensively, and played a great game last week on defense for us. So, hopefully we can continue to develop those guys and bring them along while they're still giving me contributions as well.
What is it about him specifically that allows him to kind of be ready to step in and play like that?
I think he just has a knack for the ball. I do. I think that whenever he can process quickly and just play football, I think he does a really good job. He's got pretty good instincts.
It seems like we talk about Dustin more than we talk about Corey, but can you just talk about the contribution that Corey makes week after week and just how amazing he's been?
He makes it difficult on returners for sure. You saw this past week, we had two muffs. We end up getting one of them, which is great. It's hard to catch a lefty like him. He can definitely put the ball out there. He can also get it up, elevate the ball pretty well, and he's really been a great player for us right now. And he continues to improve and understands how we want him to play the game, and he's improving in his plus 50 ball as well. So really excited about how he's come along and gave our unit and our team, I would say an advantage to be able to control the field.
Coaching your team, obviously, but do you think the wind is why the Bears didn't try the 54-yarder at the end of the half?
Yeah, definitely. Different than in past weeks since I've been here, the wind has really gone the other way. It's really usually coming out of the dog pound. But it was coming at us, coming from the tunnel. And we knew that the distance going that way was going to be a much harder kick. So credit to our defense, obviously, for keeping them out of that range to be able to attempt that kick. I was actually hoping that they were going to attempt it, but they didn't.
Across the league, I think there's 6 punt return touchdowns, only 1 true kickoff return touchdown a year. Is the rule changes to emphasize that much for coverage teams that good? What do you think that is?
No, I think that the return rate has definitely gone down. I think, and I don't necessarily think it's the fair catch that's really brought the return rate down. I think it's more teams aren't bringing the ball out of the end zone for whatever reason. I think some teams are just content to get the ball at the 25-yard line. But I think that once the year is over, something will happen with the kickoff play. Something will be adapted, or they'll adopt a new type of rule or whatever you want to call it. But like I said, I'm content with how the rule is. Like if you want to return the ball, great. If you don't, great. But I think being able to start the game and after every score have a kickoff is definitely something that I would definitely. Obviously, I'm a special teams coordinator, but I'm all for that. I don't like changing the game and making it like a gimmicky play or, the kickoff is an exciting play. If you take that away, it just, I don't know.
Bubba, kicking at down at the lakefront has been a problem for a lot of guys over the last decade since Phil Dawson. Whether it's this time of year especially, but just all season long because of the wins and such. What's been Dustin's approach that's allowed him to sort of buck that trend and have so much success at the state?
I've said it a bunch. I think that his process throughout the week, understanding how he approaches each week, communication with me and the specialist has just been phenomenal. I know that we had talked a lot about earlier in the year about trying to, I know you guys had asked about going down and like him getting comfortable in the stadium, and brought it up a couple weeks ago and talked through, it changes so much down there that it's hard to go down on like a Thursday because whatever you get on Thursday is going to be completely different than you get on Sunday. So those guys have been content about just, okay, whatever we get that day, we'll attack it, make the adjustments. Like this past week, the wind was way different than we've seen at any point in this season. So like going toward the tunnel was way different than we've had the first, 15 weeks of the year.
How have you seen the relationship between Dustin, Corey, and Charlie develop, and what about that relationship helps them find success together as a group?
No, they get along extremely well. They've all been in the league for a number of years. So I think that just having the respect for each other, they just have good chemistry. They really do. They all connect well, and it's been great for that operation. They're easy guys to coach. They don't really push back to me at all with anything. So if I have a recommendation or a suggestion, they take it and they apply it. And if they disagree, then they'll express their feelings. But I feel like we've had really good communication with that group, and all those guys work extremely hard and are true professionals, all three of them.
With the win the way it was the other night or the other day, was it an easy decision when you and Kevin are talking about deferring and taking the ball so you had the win behind you in the fourth quarter?
Kevin and I talked about it pregame, and I thought that he made a really good decision to take the ball. I thought that was the best thing. We wanted it. We wanted to have the win in the fourth quarter, and I think that he did a good job by taking the ball there. Yeah.
Well, I know you talked about this last week, but it's 5 points from catching Jim Brown for the all-time, scoring in one season. Just talk about that a little bit.
No, like I said, he's been a great player for us. The execution has been at a high level, and fortunately, he's made a lot of his kicks. And like I said before, I think he's done a tremendous job for our team, and the confidence he has in our coaching staff, the head coach, GM owners. He's earned every bit of credit he deserves, and I think he should really be, in my mind, get every accolade you could get. I think he's done a really good job, and he's earned it. So he's been great for us.
Take you to the Pro Bowl?
I hope not. I hope not. And I hope not. I really do.
MVP of this team.
MVP of this team? Jeez. I probably shouldn't even answer that question, but I'll answer it for you. Obviously, I'll say Dustin aside, I would say 95. He's just ridiculous. I've never seen a player. I've been in the league since 2005. I've never been around a football player like that guy. It's unbelievable. And I think when you actually get to see him in person, it just looks way different. And to me, he's hands down. It's not even a question. He's hands down the best football player in the league. To me, defensively, he's hands down the best. There's no one that's even remotely close to him, in my opinion.
How did the South Dakota State jersey go over?
He forgot the jersey, so I had to wear a Jack Rabbit sweatshirt. But I will support Pierre in the final. I think the finals the Sunday before the national championship game. So I wish they would play that this week. It'd be so much better to just get it done, but they don't want to do it, I guess, with the bowl games and stuff. Yeah, so they should really get that game. Whoever's in charge of scheduling that, I would recommend you move it to this week. But I love 1AA football. The playoffs are exciting, and congrats to the I mess with Pierre and call them the little Jackrabbits, but congrats to the Jackrabbits there. Yeah.
What's been the best jersey in those Friday meetings all year?
The best jersey? Anthony Walker has a plethora of jerseys, so he comes every week with something different. So he really keeps us, on our toes, I guess. They're disappointing to say this, but there has not been a lot of other guys that have followed suit. It's really me and Walk that wear the jerseys on Fridays. So, yep.
Thanks.